after people that were
the Biden does the whole crime family, right? Pardons the whole crime family. But that's fine.
Oh yeah. How many crimes have they committed? The Republicans had like 8 years to investigate them and found nothing. How do you know? You had 8 years to investigate it. What do you mean? How many special counsels?
How did we have 8 years to investigate
him? They had nothing. Because they've been investigating him from as soon as Biden was in office. They've been investigating this guy, Hunter Biden, over and over and over and over and over again, and they found nothing. That's why the charges we got at the end of the day were for tax fraud. Well, for Joe Biden, they found nothing ever. They've been investigating.
Hang on. This isn't going to make your points any better. I just want to make sure that we can get back to the actual point.
In today's video, Destiny absolutely destroys Piers Morgan and Andrew Wilson in a heated debate on DOGE and the recent political scandals. Piers Morgan tried to play the neutral moderator, but let's be real, he was pushing the same tired talking points. Andrew Wilson, full MAGA mode as expected. But Destiny, he came armed with actual facts, receipts, and logic and absolutely schools them both live on air. So let's dive in and watch how Destiny shuts down Piers Morgan and Andrew Wilson in this heated debate.
Destiny, if none of them have committed crimes, why do they all need preemptive pardons?
Yeah, they all need pardons.
Because Trump has shown over and over again that he doesn't need crimes to start chasing down people, and the Republicans have no problem hunting people down to try to go on fishing.
And the Democrats haven't been doing that to him for the last year.
Give me one example.
Stormy bloody Daniels. Honestly.
Did he break a law? Did he break a law?
What
also, that wasn't the federal government. That was the state.
Are you honestly happy
that's fine.
The only time an American hang on. The only time an American president
like the law. No, I don't care.
The only time an American president was ever dragged through a criminal court was over a one-night stand with a porn star 20 years ago. Utterly preposterous.
It wasn't over a one-night stand. It was over misappropriating campaign funds and then creating a paper trail. You can, if you don't like the law, that's fine.
You've had presidents like Obama waging illegal drone programs, killing thousands of innocent people. Why is he not in a criminal court?
Illegal as per who? Illegal as per who? Which crimes? What are we talking about?
You don't think illegal drone programs are criminal? You can't just say illegal
because it sounds... Illegal as per who?
Oh, you think they're lawful?
You just say illegal because it sounds bad. Apparently so.
What about the illegal invasion of Iraq by George Bush?
What are we talking about for illegal invasion? Illegal
I'm talking about crimes.
Which crime? What crime are you talking about?
Crime than sleeping with a porn star.
Misappropriated campaign funds.
I'm making the point. The only time an American president has ever been dragged through a criminal court was not over running illegal drone programs or illegally invading sovereign countries. It was over an alleged one-night stand with a porn star that involved a bit of paper shuffling. It was completely ridiculous.
You have strong feelings about what you think should be a crime or not, but if you don't care about the law, there's no legal argument to be had then. If you just think it's a crime because it's bad and you don't like it, or if you think it's a crime or it's not a crime because you don't think it's a big deal, that's fine. But I mean, like, if you want to have the legal argument,
logic for you. As long as bad things are done via the process of law, that's fine. But if you do good things absent the process of law, that's bad. It's like, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, I know. Here's my chain of logic. I know it's hard to follow. If you are a criminal, it's because you've broken a law. Not all bad things are criminal, okay? Not all bad things are crimes. You can think somebody did a bad thing, but they didn't commit a crime. Donald Trump committed crimes in New York State, probably committed crimes insofar as Georgia is concerned, and he's committed federal crimes insofar as the Mar-a-Lago documents case was and the J6 case was. He won't be held accountable for all of that, thankfully, because he's dismissed it. He does everything he can to elude accountability, but those are crimes. If you want to say, I don't like the war in Iraq and that's illegal, illegal as per who? We could talk about the ICJ or the ICC if you want, but that gets obviously way more complicated.
No, that wasn't what my point was. My point was
crimes.
First off, let's talk about this Hunter Biden investigation nonsense. They've investigated him over and over again and found nothing substantial. That's why they had to resort to tax charges, because there was literally nothing else they could pin on him. Meanwhile, Trump and his allies are screaming about needing preemptive pardons. Why do you need a pardon if you're innocent? That's not how this works. If anything, that just makes Trump and his allies look guilty as hell. Wilson also tried so hard to throw out the whole "but what about Obama's drone program" argument. And look, people can absolutely criticize the drone program from a moral standpoint. But legally, there's a difference between disputed military actions under international law versus straight up fraud, obstruction, and election interference. The fact that Wilson couldn't even name a specific crime when Destiny asked him says everything.
Yeah, it wasn't my point. My point was to say that from your view, you're only concerned about process of law in this case.
Yes,
right?
The law, yes.
Not
correct,
about
yes.
hang on. Not about the moral implications of the actual waste, fraud, and abuse that is brought up. Only that the technical process is followed. So it's like, okay, but what if they're not following your technical process, but they're actually finding waste, fraud, and abuse from a moral implication? That's actually a good thing. Now, I don't even agree with you that they're breaking any laws. I don't even agree that they're breaking any laws. These challenges are brand new. We have no idea how this is going to play out. You don't. I don't. But we have no idea if he's going to adhere to what the court is going to say. No, we don't have a good idea. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's not. We don't know for sure that Trump is going to just go, oh, I'm just going to Jackson the courts. The courts can enforce their own law. Like, that is speculation that's beyond the pale.
They've already done that. A judge has already issued a ruling saying they've already violated a TRO. So that's already happened to some extent. Now, how far will it go? Who knows? But they've already done exactly that. DOGE does not have the legal authority to go in and unilaterally.
No, they're giving a legal challenge back, Destiny.
They didn't
giving
even
a legal challenge back.
Read the TROs. Their response was, "Oh, we're going after fraud," and the judge laughed. And he said, "This isn't even a response."
That doesn't. Wait. So yes, they are. Not only are they going to respond to this, but they're setting up for legal challenges to go back the other direction. This is obvious. And by the way, this is part of the process. Like, I don't know why you just pretend like these politicians don't expand their offices all the time. And that's what the judicial does, right? It comes in, it'll rein it in. It'll say this is constitutional. It's not constitutional. You can do this. You can't do this. They do it all the time. There's so much precedent for this, in fact. So if he doesn't adhere to what the judges end up saying, to what these courts actually say when he has no more legal standing to fight it, then you have a leg to stand on. Right now, you don't.
He's already done that.
He's acting, acting the best he can in the ability of the office of the President of the United States.
Chaps, we will see.
So the goal should be to just break as many laws as possible then, and then see what happens.
No, Trump has made it clear he'll accept the ruling of the judges. If he doesn't, that's another matter. Look, I want to end
that doesn't even follow anyway. Like,
guys,
that doesn't follow logically.
Now, we got the classic Trump will accept the court rulings defense. Since when? This is the guy who literally tried to overturn an election, defied subpoenas, and ignored classified document protocols after multiple warnings. Why should anyone believe he'll suddenly play by the rules now? Wilson kept pretending like this is all just part of the normal process, when in reality, Trump is testing the limits of the legal system in ways no other modern president has dared. And that's the issue, not whether some legal technicality lets him stall longer, but the bigger picture of a guy constantly trying to sidestep accountability.
We're running out of time. I don't want to leave us without getting to the really contentious story of the week, which is paper straws. Let's watch a clip of Donald Trump talking about straws.
We're going back to plastic straws. These things don't work. I've had them many times, and on occasion they break, they explode. If something's hot, they don't last very long, like a matter of minutes, sometimes a matter of seconds. It's a ridiculous situation. So we're going back to plastic straws. I think it's okay. And I don't think that plastic's going to affect a shark very much as they're munching their way through the ocean. Okay.
Destiny, can we at least agree that paper straws suck? Or rather, you can't suck with a paper straw?
You know what? I'm going to be like a good conservative, and just to spite conservatives, I'm going to buy 1,000 paper straws. I'm going to replace every plastic straw that I see in a straw from now on with the worst, the shittiest paper straws that dissolve the second you put them in your fucking soft drink. That's my goal for the next 2 years. That's my way of protesting.
Andrew, your response to that dramatic statement from Destiny about paper straws?
Well, then I have to at least counter with buying 1,000 plastic straws, right? Just to, but anyway, I drank out of these stupid paper straws last time I was in Santa Barbara going to the whatever podcast, and they do suck.
They do.
And they do dissolve quickly.
Yeah.
And everything tastes like cardboard when you drink through these straws.
Totally agree.
But there's also all sorts of chemicals in them. I'm not even sure that they're safer than plastic.
No.
And there's a lot of data on this too. Like, they dissolve the drinks into the mouth. And they have all sorts of chemicals, preservatives in the paper. The baseline plastic is non-reactive. There's all sorts of like little things that you can point out here that is problematic when it comes to paper straws themselves. But ultimately, they just suck. Like, if you're going to replace, like, what people in California do? They get metal drinking straws, right?
Right.
And then they use the metal drinking straw. They just bring their drinking straw with them.
Yes.
Like, maybe that's a good alternative. I don't like the idea necessarily of drinking out of plastic. I don't think that's the greatest idea, but the paper straw thing was always stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
I really wish they'd spend more time debating on DOGE instead of going off on a rant about paper straws. Like, come on. That could have been a way more interesting and productive conversation. But hey, here we are, talking about Trump's executive order on straws. And honestly, I gotta give some props to Trump for this one. Look, I don't usually agree with him, but let's be real, paper straws, they suck. They fall apart in your drink, they taste awful, and half the time, they're full of chemicals that might not even be better than plastic. At the end of the day, I think this whole plastic versus paper straws fight is kind of dumb. If we really care about the environment, we should be pushing for actual solutions, not just trading one bad option for another. But hey, for once, I think Trump made a call that a lot of people can get behind. Do you know what's not good though? Biased media outlets. Are you getting tired of getting half the story from biased news sources? One outlet says one thing and another says the complete opposite. How are you supposed to know what's actually true? That's where ground news comes in. It lets you compare how different media outlets, left, right, and center, are covering the same story. So you can see the full picture instead of just the echo chamber. And here's the best part. Click the link in the description and get 40% off the Vantage tier, which gives you even deeper insights into media bias and political trends. Stay informed, think for yourself, and check out Ground News in the description down below.